I think this episode will either make or break me, but let's just get into it. Cue the music. Amor, love, made up of trust, communication, and compromise. But what happens when one partner decides to add another ingredient to the mix? Options. Yep. For some people, opening a relationship sounds like a freeing and exciting experience. For them, it's a way to explore and reconnect or even spice things up in the bedroom. But sometimes that door swings a little too wide, and once it does, it's hard to close it again. Hello and welcome, Threadheads. My name is Ashley, and today we are diving into the world of Reddit and exploring stories of open relationships gone wrong, when fantasy meets reality, and suddenly someone's rethinking everything they said to their partner. I want to preface this by saying I don't think open relationships in general don't work. For some people they do, and for others not so much. But one thing I want to say for certain is everyone in these stories who asked for open relationships were selfish a-holes who I hope got their just desserts. And as the jury of Threadheads, I would like to know if you guys think their love can be salvaged, if it can ever go back to the way it was, if they can rebuild their trust, or is this just the beginning of the end? Ooh. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a like. You can also hit that subscribe and notification bell just so you never miss a dose of drama, commentary, and self-inflicted chaos over here. And of course, as always, thank you guys for being here. Thank you so much for engaging with the channel. It means the world to me. It means the world to the channel also. But as you also know, it means something else. It means you're nosy. But you know, that's life without being nosy. Without further ado, let's jump into some stories. Ashley read it, and now, so will you. Our first post comes from the relationship advice subreddit by Thurra Shorty, and they say, husband wanted an open marriage and is now mad at me for seeing someone. We, 22 female and 25 male, have been married for 2 years and together for almost 6. Yet, beginning of last year, he told me he has room in his heart for one more woman and is a man for more than one partner.
Bruh.
I like how they never tell you these things from the start. They just happen to tell you when you've gotten so committed to it. He said he wanted an open marriage. It was so hard for me to agree to it, but the minute I did, he started seeing this beautiful, attractive girl. I can't even explain how painful it was to know that I'm not enough for him, that he's spending time with someone else. And he did, from spending nights with her to texting her when we were supposed to be spending time together. I would literally cry myself to sleep every night while he was with her or at home sleeping after hanging out with her. I even met someone, but I just couldn't open up to that guy because of how much I love my husband. I finally gave in a few months ago. I started letting the new guy take me on dates or to his place, etc. He has been so good to me, and that's all I needed after feeling like I'm not enough for my husband. I feel attractive and worthy again. Last month, the new guy took me out of town for my birthday weekend. A happy birthday text is all I got from my husband. Come off it. He couldn't even give you cards. He just gave you a text. Since that, it's like my husband suddenly realized that we're married. He wants to spend time together and gets jealous when I'm not home. Now he's saying he wants a baby. Ooh, which I'm not against, but I would like to wait until our relationship is more stable. Girl, kids and he thinks that I'm prioritizing my boyfriend over our relationship and family, and that's not what an open marriage is about. He's now wanting to stop everything and go back to being monogamous. I'm not ready for that. He got to decide when it started. Why does he get to decide when it ends? Why did he wait until I started being happy again? I'm sorry for the long rant, but do you have any advice?
I think you should leave.
He only wants to close a marriage because he's seen that she can be happy without him. When he was happy and she was miserable, he didn't care. He didn't mind the changes. He wanted an easy way to feel guilt-free when cheating on his wife. And like, you never discussed it before now. And suddenly when she says yes, right away he has someone in mind. He's always had that lady in mind. That is the sole reason he asked for this. But I think he wasn't expecting OP here to explore or find someone who would find her attractive attractive. If you realize you're not a one-woman kind of man, what makes you think she also isn't a one-man kind of woman? Wait a minute, I just remembered. On her birthday, he sent a happy birthday text. He didn't even send a card, tell her in person, give her breakfast in bed, anything. The barest of the minimum. The bar is basically in hell, and even he dug deeper to go through that. Nah, if he wants to leave, that's fine. Be married for just 2 years and already you want to get something exciting. It makes me question if he was even loyal to her for the first 4 years they were dating. The top comment is by a deleted user, and they say, it sounds like he wanted an open relationship because he already had the girl in mind and he just wanted permission to cheat on you. He thought you would just sit around and pine for him. Like other posters have already said, what are you getting out of this marriage anymore? And OP responds and says, good question. I can't say that I know the answer, to be honest. Someone does suggest that there may be a hesitation on her part to separate from him, and she responds and says, we've been together for almost 6 years. He's my only relationship ever. Things were so perfect until this. It's like, why would I leave this and potentially find worse? What if this is how relationships are? Start out pretty good and then hit rough patches. Even with this new guy, I can't help but feel like things are only good right now because it's new, and that something similar might end up happening down the road. And OP is coming with their first update, and they say, well, I was going to wait until this weekend to talk to my husband about getting a divorce. I wanted to think things through before ending the 6-year relationship. I still took my distances. I stopped having sex and hanging out with him. I've barely talked to him since my last post and even refused his gifts. So guess what he did yesterday? He went to the new guy's office and tried to get into a fight with him, yelling and screaming about how the new guy sleeps with married women and should be ashamed of himself. That's you. I'm gonna bite my tongue. Making it seem like the new guy was helping me cheat on my husband, which is not the case because open marriage, right? New guy is now pissed. He said he wants to be with me, but doesn't want to have to deal with a crazy husband / soon to be ex. He wants to take a break until I get things figured out with my husband. How am I supposed to do that though? I still plan on getting the divorce, but I can't control my husband. Could this be his way of dumping me? There's so much drama and so much to think about. Do you have any advice? Girl, you are 22. This I just clocked her age. There's too much going on for you. I'm just like, both of them, just throw them both away and just go on this singles cruise or just explore yourself. You don't need to be in a relationship. You're 22. It's too much for a 22-year-old to be dealing with. Okay, OP does have a second update, and they say, hey friends, just wanted to post a quick update. We got the divorce process started, but right before that though, my ex-husband was able to meet with my dad, who's always liked him, and told him how I cheated on him, and then insisted on having an open marriage when I got caught. So now I can't even go to my family's house because my dad is mad at me and won't hear me out. I'm pretty sure he told some of our close friends the same thing because they won't answer my texts. I was able to move into an apartment, and now I'm just waiting for things to calm down with my family and for the divorce to be finalized. Oh, and I could lose my job because someone left some serious bad reviews on the website, and now I'm being investigated. Gee, I wonder who that could be. Let's think, husband. Who you think, husband. So I've been home this whole week. I have no one to talk to unless I decide to finally answer my husband's text. Even the new guy hasn't been talking to me. So yeah, that's how my life is going. Any advice on how to deal with the loneliness? And thank you so much for your support through this whole thing. You guys rock. That was OP's last update, but they did comment under that update something briefly. He didn't close it. He put his girlfriend on the back burner, but was planning on getting back with her after, quote, working on our relationship, aka having me dump my boyfriend. Oh, and it didn't take two to open our marriage. Just one person saying that I wasn't enough for him and that he had to find another partner besides me. And then they also say, it's sad to say this, but my ex-husband was the best person I had in my life. My family, especially my dad, is toxic AF. No wonder I had to move out when I was 17. I will try to get him to admit everything, and hopefully that works. My goodness, this girl has been through so much. I mean, no wonder she thinks the relationship with her husband is normal. Sometimes people who cheat will preemptively tell everyone around them that they're the ones who have been cheated on, because the best way to get someone to take you back or forgive you is to isolate them so that they feel that they are the best person in your life, they are their safest option, and that without them, everyone else will hate you. I think he's clearly trying to get OP to realize, well, no one wants you but me. Even your boyfriend left you, even your parents don't like you, and then you come back to me. Like, you know, that kind of thing where he's just clearly messing with her head, and he's winning. And it sucks that he's winning because he's such an a-hole. We can't always have happy endings, but yeah, I do hope, considering this was 4 years ago, I hope she's found peace now. I mean, she should be older now. She should be like 26, 27. I don't know, but she should be old enough now to be happier. I hope she eventually realizes that it's better to be alone than be surrounded by people who don't wish you well or don't make you feel loved or appreciated. That's my ranting done. I would like to know if you guys would have done anything differently in what OP did. Do let me know in the comments, and while you do that and while I take a minute to catch my breath, we are going to go on a tea break and then we'll move to the next story. See ya! Okay, going over to the marriage subreddit with a post by BarraBlue97. They say, wife asked for an open marriage, I asked for divorce. I'm wondering if I have jumped the gun or I have been reasonable here. We've been married for 12 years now. Things have always been great without any particular up or down. My wife has always been a kind, sweet woman, and up until this, I thought the world of her. And then she went and broached the talk about open marriage. She said, quote, what if we consider opening up our marriage? Because all her friends did it and it's 2024. I didn't get angry or anything like that. I just listened and offered my counters. I asked if her friends were influencing her into this and she said no. I asked her if she already had someone in mind and she said no. I asked her to give me some time to think about it and she agreed, stating that we don't have to do it if I'm not up for it. I shouldn't have, but in the days after, I checked her phone and her laptop. There was nothing suspicious or that suggested she was cheating already. Last week, I told her I thought about it, and in my opinion, she can date anyone she wants because I want a divorce.
And
Cue the sobbing, the begging, and her saying, if I knew, I wouldn't have even asked. She refuses to move out, and so do I. So I sleep in the guest room. She's taking sick days from work, and every time I am home, she keeps begging to talk to me and for me to go back to the bedroom with her. I believe her friends actually tried to influence her, and she didn't do anything at all. But this has unraveled my perception of her. But I want to know, was I too fast to mention divorce? Like I said, most people who suggest open relationships already are doing it from a selfish perspective. If that relationship didn't start off as being an open relationship, if you feel like you're not getting anything out of a relationship, just leave. It feels very selfish to then give that person like a whiplash out of nowhere and go like, you're not enough for me anymore. How do you expect the normal human being to react to that? You go from you're all I need, you're all I want, and then suddenly it's like, I thought about it. We are in the new era. We are in post-COVID, babes. We can sleep with multiple people. The average human is going to be taken aback by that because it's a subtle way of saying, I don't think you're enough to fulfill my needs anymore. The trust is really gone, and I don't think he can ever build back that trust in the way that will completely alienate any idea that she may just cheat without him knowing. This is a time to separate before things get ugly or nasty. Let's just wrap it up. Let's just end it here, because on both sides, she already doesn't feel like she's having the kind of marriage she wants, and now he will always feel like if they go back to how things were, can he trust her? Before it gets nasty, before resentment starts to creep in, just end it now before it gets worse. That's my view on it, at least. Our top commenter is a deleted user who says, I don't know if you were too fast, but honestly, you almost never see a relationship start as monogamous, open up, and then succeed. And there's a reason for that. If my wife suggested opening my marriage, that's where I would go to. That tells me I'm not enough, and I'm not going to waste my life struggling to be enough for the person who married me, therefore telling me that who I am is what she wanted to spend her life with. I don't know if that would happen right away, but it certainly would make the eventuality of divorce infinitely more likely. And OP responds to that and says, that is exactly what I feel. OP's first update comes 2 days later. OP says in his update, I wasn't jumping the gun. She was cheating emotionally and planning to do so physically. I checked her phone and computer and found nothing, but she came forward with a second phone I had no idea she even had. She thought I already knew, and that's why she came out with it, just as I was starting to regret my decision. Her friends sweet-talked her into it. Apparently, those, quote, open marriages are just their affairs. The things I saw are stomach-churning. She begs to be given a second chance, and a part of me is foolishly considering to give it to her, but it's not the right thing to do. I don't want to leave her, but I have to for the sake of my dignity, pride, and self-respect. That I love her has become irrelevant. OP's next update comes a few days later, and he says, this is not a good or satisfactory update. I was in the process of talking to a lawyer when someone very close to me passed away in a car accident, so everything has stopped for now. My wife wanted to organize the funeral, and although I made an effort to stop her, she still did. She says my behavior is not fair because this person was like a son to her as well, and in a moment like this we should stick together. Then she says she doesn't care if I divorce her or not. Again, I reiterated that she was free to do whatever she wants as long as she does it away from me. And since she wouldn't respect nor honor my grief, I stopped talking to her altogether. She could talk, cry, or complain all she wanted, but I wouldn't respond. 2 days ago, I took my relative's ashes and moved into the apartment above my restaurant. My brother is the bartender, and I instructed him and our employees to turn away my wife if she comes here. She's tried blowing up my phone, saying that taking the ashes was a low blow and we should stick together in this tragedy. I just blocked her. She saw someone pass and decided, how do I make this about me and my relationship? Crazy B word. I won't update anymore. I just want to be alone in my grief and then get things over with my wife. And OP responds to a comment asking about who that relative was to him. And OP says, that was my son, not hers. She has no right on him since she didn't adopt him. Imagine being OP right now and you've just lost your son or your relative. You were already processing the fact that your wife was cheating on you, at least emotionally, and apparently she's in a cult of women who just love to have affairs, and then she has the audacity to look you in the eye and say, I'm about to make your loss about me. I'm about to use this to tie you back to me. She thought that she could use his grief to get them back together, and that is such a selfish thing to do. Beyond even the affair, to see him going through this awful thing, and your instinct is to take advantage of it and try to manipulate him to get back together with you. How do you do that? I already thought she was selfish asking for an open marriage after years of being in a monogamous marriage. Now I think she is the devil. Now I see her as a second spawn of Satan. She is assistant Hades, because what do you mean? You first hijacked the funeral, then you hijacked his grieving, and now you're trying to force him to bring back the ashes, which, by the way, you have no rights over. He thought the world of his wife, and then she just had to show him that she isn't worth crap. Awful thing to go through. But anyway, do let me know what you guys think. This is the second story where we're having sort of a bittersweet ending, but at least both of them have something in common. They've both left the crappy partners they have. But do let me know what you guys think. And while you do that, I'm going to go on a tea break, and when I come back, we'll go to the next story. In the relationship advice subreddit, we have a post by Thora Openly Sad, and they say, my fiance wants to try an open relationship before we get married. Hi, I'm at a loss of what to do. Me, 25 female, and my fiance, 24 male, have been in a relationship for 3 years, 4 years coming up in March. He popped the question a few months ago, and I was so excited. I really feel like he is the one for me. He's amazing in so many ways, and I genuinely feel like he feels the same way. Or at least I did. Last night, we ordered takeout for dinner, and we were going to watch the newest Rings of Power episode. He was acting incredibly weird and not very talkative and very fidgety. He usually sits pretty still or relaxed, but he kept bouncing his legs and tapping his fingers. Eventually, about halfway through the episode, he pauses it and says he wants to talk about something extremely important. He sounded so nervous, and I immediately got this sinking feeling, but I told him everything was okay and just to tell me what was going on. He said it'd been on his mind for a while, and he didn't know if this was just the nerves of realizing he's about to get married, but he realized that I'm time his first real relationship. Before me, he'd only dated a couple people in high school, and it was never long lasting. I mean, how old are they? They're 24 and 25. I feel like dating in high school should count. You're 24. What do you mean? Your relationship? You shouldn't even get married at this point. You shouldn't be marrying at 24, 25. Oh my God.
I apologize for my outburst.
Deep breath. Until you're 26, don't think about marriage. I mean, it's better he's saying it now before they get married, but still. OP goes on to say, I asked him where he was going with this, and he started crying. He said he was scared since he didn't have a lot of experience with other people. He was worried if he was making the right decision. Obviously, that effing hurt to hear, but I didn't say anything. After dancing around the subject for a bit, he finally said that he thinks an open relationship would be good for us, at least for a bit. Honestly, the second half of this conversation is a blur because my anxiety was so bad, I was hardly listening. He said he loved me and he wants to marry me no matter what, but he wants to see what other people are like before getting into a lifelong marriage. He cried throughout the whole conversation and he kept reassuring me that I wasn't the problem. He just wanted to, quote, experience other people since he never really was able to. He said if I agreed to an open relationship, there would be lots of rules in place and it would all be very safe. I feel like our relationship is ruined. I'm obviously not okay with an open relationship. He said I could see other people too, but I don't want to. I only have eyes for him. I only want him. I only love him. He kept saying I have every right to say no and he would understand and he would never make me do something I didn't want to. But the thing is, since he brought this up, if I say no, then I'm constantly going to think he's seeing other people anyway. It's already happening. I used to have complete trust in him, but now I can't stop thinking if he's already seeing other people. Maybe he's bringing this up because he's cheated on me and now he needs an excuse. I don't know. My mind is everywhere and I don't know what to do. I told him I would think about it and he hugged me. He didn't let go for a long time. I slept on the couch last night. I told him I just needed to be alone. Any advice would be so much appreciated. On one hand, I was thinking, you're both realistically too young to be sealing the deal with yourselves, but this works out for people. Some people are able to be high school sweethearts, first loves, and have this amazing fairy tale life. And for some other people, it's like you didn't get to realize that maybe there were red flags in your relationship because that relationship is all you know. And initially, I was trying to reason with him because they're both young, but his excuse is, I haven't had any other real relationships besides you, so how am I sure that you're the one I want to end up with? Crazy thing to say, by the way, to the person you're about to get married to. Personally, if someone told me that the reason they want to explore is because they're not sure I am the one for them, I'm already in my mind accepting that I am in fact not the one for them. And then he tries to cover that up with well, we can have an open relationship just for a while. Her worries aren't even crazy, they are valid. He then sounds like he already has someone in mind, and it sounds like he's just nervous about this because he's afraid that she's going to dump him. Rightfully so. If someone looked me in the eyes, paused a movie I was watching and told me that the reason they want to see other people is because they don't think I'm the right one for them, that would be the end. You don't need to panic yourself about if I'm the one. I'm gonna tell you right now, unequivocally, I'm not, because I'm out.
Bye! See you when I see you. Goodbye.
We've got our top comment by Catapoo, who says, if he's going to marry you no matter what, how is he worried that he's making the wrong decision when he's marrying you because he lacks experience? Honestly, I'm in my very first relationship for years now, and I've never been intimate with anyone else, but I'm so very sure about him, especially intimately. I would never want to, quote, experience anything else. To me, this relationship would be over after a conversation like that. If he's not sure, then I'm sure I don't want him. And then OP responds to that and says, I didn't include this in the post, but I also have little experience when it comes to being with other people. So they're both just naive people? I did have a relationship out of high school, but it was long distance and it didn't work out. He's only the second guy I've been physically intimate with, but I've never found myself wanting to have intimacy with other people because of it. He's a whole new person to me right now. No matter what my answer is, nothing is going to be the same. I'm so effing heartbroken and angry. OP has an update. OP says, well, the update isn't great. We called off our engagement and broke up. He swears up and down that he didn't do anything, but he confessed that he brought it up because he had a crush on someone and wanted to try it out. 3 for 3, they all have people in mind. I've been staying at my friend's house for a few days trying to figure out what I wanted to do. A lot of people in the comments were a huge help to me mentally, and I appreciate a lot of you so much. I probably would have gone through with it, but you guys pushed me to ask more questions. I asked him what made him start thinking about it, and at first he went right back to his, quote, experience BS. I told him if he wanted to experiment intimately, I would be more than happy to try some things out, and I wasn't going to be accepting that as his answer. After a while, he caved in and admitted that a girl who works at a coffee shop he visits often asked him for his number, and that's when he started thinking about it. I was heartbroken and angry, to say the least. He had said that if we got into an open relationship, people we knew would be off limits. He said she didn't count as someone he knew because he wasn't friends with her and she was technically a stranger. I told him he did know her. He goes there almost every day and she's very friendly with us, but either way, it didn't matter because he had already told me there was no one he had in mind. He lied to me. Hang on, the lady knows her too? The coffee shop barista knows OP, knows OP's fiance, and she gave him her number? The guillotine. Immediately. After some more arguing and crying from both of us, he told me that if I didn't want the open relationship, then to just say no and we could move on from this. He was basically begging me not to talk about it anymore and he just wanted to move on. I told him it wasn't that easy because I straight up do not trust him anymore. As far as I know, he could have already, quote, experimented with her. He promised me he never cheated on me and never will. He said he would never go to that coffee place again and if he saw her, he would ignore her. I told him he could see other people, but I just wouldn't be in the picture. He got frantic and asked me if I was breaking up with him, and I said yes. I told him a year from now, or even a couple years from now, after he gets all his experience out of his system, and I'm still single and interested, we can try again. From the beginning, no engagement. I personally don't see us getting back together, but he was crying and clinging on to me. Honestly, I'm disgusted. I'm mostly sad though, heartbroken, pissed off, lost, confused, anxious.
Black, bisexual, angry, sad, strong.
We had our whole life planned out and ready for us, and it got ruined by a stupid effing crush he had the nerve to ask to try out because of lack of experience. I'm heading out in a bit to get drunk with some girlfriends. I know a few people wanted an update, and I'm sorry it wasn't very happy, but thank you for all of the advice. Compared to the previous ones, that is the happiest outcome I could think of. He got a small sliver of affection from another woman and he crumbled in seconds. He couldn't even wait until the marriage. He crumbled because another woman just looked him in the eye and was like, "Hi, would you like my number?" When she said, the rule is not someone we know. I thought they meant like not someone the other partner knows, but then she elaborates that, it's not someone they both know, and they both know the barista. This is crazy. I would throw a shoe at him, whack him at the back of his head, because what do you mean? Do you take me for a fool? I'm happy she got out of this before she even got married to him. And I do hope she has cold pillows every single day and that she's found someone who makes her truly, truly happy. But it's over to you guys. What do we think? I should have known he was a douchebag. I tried to be logical. You see what happened when I tried to be the good guy, when I tried to see reason from both sides? Now do you see why I'm mean? But with that, we have come to the end of today's trip down the rabbit hole. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching all the way to the end. If you're seeing this, tell me one country you would like to travel to. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and don't forget to hit that like button and also subscribe if you want to. And also, if you have your own questions, stories, confessions, open relationship drama, I would love to read them. We have our own subreddit, which is r/AshleyReddit. Feel free to post your stories on there, and who knows, your story just might show up in the next video, or it might inspire the next video's theme. Until next time, keep it nosy, keep it cozy. Ashley read it, and now so did you.